oppose the power corridor that would bring hydropower from Quebec through Maine and into Massachusetts. Samantha York joins us now with more. Sam, what's the latest?
Well, Lee and Lindsay, the town of Farmington originally supported the project, but after last night's meeting and vote, it's clear many people are having a change of heart. Now, the big question is, if more towns pull their support, will it be enough to sway the Public Utilities Commission vote?
But when I ran for governor, I promised I'd always be straight with you.
Governor Janet Mills standing firm in that promise and in her support for the controversial CMP transmission corridor.
And I did not, as some have suggested, say I was opposed to it. I said I had suggestions and concerns and questions.
The project would upgrade the existing power corridor north of Lewiston and then extend it through the North Woods, west of the Forks and into Quebec. Power made by Hydro-Quebec dams would then go directly to Massachusetts as part of that state's aim to reduce its carbon footprint. Governor Mills is backing the project because she says it will benefit Maine by lowering the CO2 emissions from Massachusetts, and there are hundreds of millions of dollars in payments from CMP over the next 40 years. But those in her hometown of Farmington who had once welcomed the project have had a change of heart.
The vote in favor, formally opposing the project, was 262 yes, 102 no.
The main concern, $248 million over 40 years doesn't cut it, especially at the cost to the environment.
We won't get any benefits out of this at all, and we all know that in our own hearts.
Those environmental concerns are well known to CMP's president and CEO, Doug Hurling, but he says those who oppose the plan must not have all the facts.
To me, you are either for the environment and clean energy, and if you're not for this project, you must be for big oil and pollution and heavy CO2 emissions.
Even without her hometown support, Mills says it hasn't swayed her, and she plans to keep the conversation going right up until the final vote by the Public Utilities Commission.
I didn't expect to win the issue, but I wanted to generate some more information, and it was a pleasure to do that in my hometown among my friends.
Now, public hearings at a state level are set to begin next Monday and should last all week. After that, we will have a final vote and decision on this controversial expansion. Lee and Lindsay.
All right, Sam, thank you very much. You know, so it was a nice day, but it felt a little cooler to me than yesterday.
It did. There was a little bit of a bite to the air. I think this is the time of year where we get kind of spoiled. You give us
Already?
150-degree day
Jeez.
and go from there.
From our weather optimists of all people.
Yeah.
It's very surprising, Lindsay. All right, well, yeah, it was cooler, no doubt. It ended up at 40 in Portland, but it wasn't for very long. Most of us in the 30s, mountains in the 20s. I feel like my Instagram feed is just full of bluebird skiing for the most, and pictures of Lee's arms too, but otherwise that's the main thing that I've seen out there. Just beautiful if you can get out to the mountains over the next few days. 40s along the coast, 30s into the mountains. And Frenchville at 26 degrees. They were in the teens even in the middle of the day. Satellite is clean. Look at this storm streaming to our south, and all you're seeing right here, that reflection, that's all the snowpack. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. And take a look at this radar. It's not broken. There's nothing going on. A couple of showers down to Atlanta, and the next storm is to the west of the Rockies. So we've got tomorrow and most of the day on Thursday before we see anything in the way of precipitation. Tomorrow, very similar to today, a little bit warmer. I'd say there's a better chance of some low 40s around, and the 30s get even into the mountains here. Thursday is a warmer day, mid 40s, but clouds do increase through the afternoon, and a couple of showers come in on Thursday night. After that, guys, it's all about the position of a front for the weekend. It's going to be the difference between 60 and 40. So we'll kind of break down the geography of that in a few minutes.
I'm leaning towards 60.
So. Me too.
Okay, thanks, Keith, very much. Let's check out some news. After a very public scandal involving an affair, controversial texts, and finally a resignation, Lewiston Mayor Shane Bouchard has been cleared of any criminal activity. The Lewiston Police Department and the Maine Attorney General's office found no credible evidence of criminal wrongdoing or violation of election laws. The original charges were made by a woman claiming to be his mistress.
Patriots owner Robert KRAFT pleading not guilty to all charges related to a Florida massage parlor sting in which he's accused of soliciting prostitution. KRAFT has also waived his arraignment and requested a jury trial. A defense lawyer for KRAFT filed the plea and request today at a state's attorney's office in West Palm Beach, Florida. NBC Boston reports KRAFT had an arraignment scheduled for Thursday regarding the soliciting charges, but that is now canceled.
A surprising move in the Jussie Smollett case. All the charges against the actor have been dropped. Smollett stars on the Fox show Empire. He was arrested in Chicago in February and charged with staging a hate crime by paying acquaintances to attack him and yell racial slurs at him. The circumstances surrounding the reversal of the charges are a bit muddy. Prosecutors added there were no problems with the evidence or the police investigation, and they say he has not been exonerated. But since Smollett has agreed to do community service and forfeit the $10,000 he paid for his bond, all the charges are going to be dropped. Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel and the police commander were angry, calling it a whitewash of justice.
It's an odorless, invisible gas that comes from the ground. Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer, and there are no testing requirements in Maine schools. There's a new push, though, in Augusta to change that. A public hearing held earlier today for LD 1079, which would require public schools to test for radon. There's no way to detect it unless you test for it. Some asking at that hearing what can be done about it if it is detected.
Mitigation essentially is a process where you would take a pipe, you would put it down below the slab, and it would, the goal is to capture those radon gases up in the pipe before they can just permeate up into the building.
The Maine CDC's radon control program recommends schools are tested at least every 5 years. Not required, but just a recommendation.
Got it. Another scandal involving a prestigious university in the United States. Duke University has agreed to settle a multi-million-dollar lawsuit over fake research. The suit was brought by the Justice Department. It claimed Duke knowingly submitted claims of a whole lot of research grants that contained fake information from a research technician. And the university says it discovered the problem 6 years ago after that technician was fired for embezzling money from the university. The school is repaying grant money and penalties totaling $112 million. And the former Duke employee who blew the whistle on the whole thing gets nearly $34 million.
Pretty good payout for being a whistleblower.
Very good payout indeed. All right, let's squeeze in a break. Coming up, we're going to learn how one phone company is taking new steps to block robocalls.
Thank goodness for that. Plus, every 2 seconds, someone in the U.S. needs a blood transfusion. For little Wyatt Sargent, he needs several a day while undergoing treatment for a rare tumor. His story next. That little kid. So cute. Hi, everybody. How's it going?
Yes.
I gotta fire up Facebook.
Fire up Facebook too.
Yes.
Oh wait, it didn't come up as an option. Isn't that weird?
Oh, that's right. Oh, maybe if you check the NCM one.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Awesome.
There we go.
Jesse thinks the radon testing is a good idea. A similar bill was brought up recently in recent history in Maine, and I think the deterrent in that case was the cost. There's a pretty big price tag that comes with requiring testing often, like every 5 years or so. To buy a testing kit for your home, it can range from like $60 to $150. It depends on whatever type you get. I only know all this because I followed along recently for a home inspection to learn how that process works.
Yep.
For a story.
The only experience I've ever had with it is when you find, if you're going to buy a home and you find it in that home, you're like, you guys are going to pay for a radon mitigation system, you know. And usually that works.
And that's the thing, you can do something about it with that mitigation system.
Yep. I was just saying too, we have one at our house. It's kind of loud.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not like
Is it 'cause
overwhelmingly.
it has fans to like force the?
You know, I guess it's in the basement, and I never am actually in the basement when it's happening. I should run down there and like observe.
Yeah.
But you can hear it in the downstairs bathroom that we have. So it's coming up in the, you know, it's the piping is in the same walls.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's good. It sucks it all into that.
Oh,
in the newsroom. Okay. A lot of you also opposing the CMP corridor. Michael, thanks for bringing this. Sweet.
30 seconds.
I love that it's still light out.
I know, right? Did I have my glasses on that whole time? That's weird.
I didn't notice.
No, oh, actually, no, not these. I wouldn't have been able to see the prompter. So.
Oh.
Stand by. Three, two, one.
Verizon is taking new steps to block those dreaded robocalls. The company already offers a blocking app. It costs $2.99 a month, but a free version is expected out later this week with some stronger methods. Verizon is tapping into new verification technology, analyzing incoming calls, and alerts consumers to spoofed calls on their smartphones. A spoofed call is one that might have a 207 area code like yours, but it's actually coming from somewhere else.
CBD is going mainstream, and we're not talking about coffee by design here. We're talking about the chemical in marijuana, which people say helps with pain and inflammation, anxiety, among other ailments. Last fall, the Virginia Board of Pharmacy granted Dharma Pharmaceuticals a conditional license to build a CBD oil processing plant in Bristol, Virginia. And now listen to this, the school system in the city is changing its curriculum to work in conjunction with the plant. There's going to be a class that'll teach hydroponic plant growth and a class that will focus on cyber security in agriculture as well.
Surveillance cameras were rolling when spring break became a scary situation for one group of friends. Take a look at this video. This is at a Florida convenience store. Two sets of brothers from Indiana filling up at that gas station north of Miami. They were mugged by a gunman. Well, it was an attempted attempt anyway, because three of the spring breakers jumped into action, wrestled the gunman to the ground. They had the best of the robber until his wingman swooped in to rescue him. He got away, but not with any money. And as for fighting an armed robber, one of the young men said it was just an instinct to protect his family.
Huh. Interesting. I read the story. I hadn't seen the pictures until
it's
just
a little
then.
Scary.
Yeah, very scary. All right, quick break. Then later on, we're going to meet a blind dog who got a great present. I'll show you.
I love this story. You guys will too. Plus, Keith's back with his full forecast. What's in store? That's so good. Lee, did you really draw that?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I'm heading to my desk for the next shot.
Okay.
So I will be over there.
All right. I'll be at the bar.
Exactly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me pull up
I will be at the bar.
the picture I want to use.
Blood drive. Will you be tagging that over there too, or tagging it back here? Okay. Oh, hey, Dawn is saying, hey, Lee, talk to us. I'm still getting used to this talking in the breaks. I have to be reminded, so thank you very much. Somebody asking when I'm going back to the morning report. Not next week, but the following week. I'll be there. Is Lindsay wearing shoes? I think so. I think so.
People of all ages could need blood donations at some point, even the tiniest, most vulnerable humans, like 16-month-old Wyatt Sargent. With an infectious laugh and smile to match, 16-month-old Wyatt Sargent looks as happy as can be.
It's always a good day when he's smiling. It's never a bad day, and he smiles every day.
But his story is difficult for any parent to hear.
A tumor in his spinal cord up in his neck.
At just 4 weeks, Wyatt was diagnosed with atypical teratoid rhabdoid tumor, or ATRT.
A rare, aggressive type of brain tumor.
Wyatt couldn't move his arms, and he would scream in pain. Alex Sargent, Wyatt's dad, is an EMT.
It's scary. It's just been out of our control. It's been out of everybody's control.
Wyatt is undergoing intensive chemo.
We've lost count at this point how many transfusions of different blood products he's had. I think the most he's had in one day was 5 blood transfusions.
Think about that. And soon, little Wyatt will need even more. Doctors have just found 2 more brain tumors.
So that's why you see the incision on his head. He just had a brain biopsy done.
That laugh and smile holding strong. Wyatt's fighting spirit earning him the name Super Y. And tomorrow, join us at 5 locations across the state for the new Center Maine Red Cross Blood Drive. We have a link to register. That's right now at our website and mobile app. Little Wyatt, man, he is just, you can't not smile when you're around him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so cute.
Sure. Awesome.
So we wish him the best of luck.
Absolutely. Now let's talk to Keith, find out what's happening, find out about this 60 versus 40 over the weekend, Keith.
Well, you know the
That's a big swing.
You know the spring warm front, the haves and the have-nots of that situation. So we'll talk about that. This is the first one of the season, right, where it's like, Caribou, I'm sorry.
Okay.
But, you know, we might be in good shape over southern Maine. Let's start with where we are, which is actually not that bad. I have to admit I was surprised looking at some of these readings. I thought we were a tad bit cooler just from my spidey sense out there, but we got to 40 in Portland, 36 in Lewiston, 32 in Millinocket. Clear skies, sun was nice, but we had a little bit of a wind earlier today, which wasn't as nice. I'm going to say clear overnight tonight, nothing really going on. And as I mentioned before, really quiet to our west and southwest. Typically where our weather comes from. Every once in a while you'll catch a storm coming in from the east, but generally this is kind of our upstream direction. So you can see tomorrow is good and most of Thursday in good shape as well. Just wanted to take you, we're talking about the ski resorts. Look at this shot of Sugarloaf right now, just beautiful. If you can just burn a day during the week, it's like no lift lines, beautiful. I did it last week and it was really, really nice. Ton of snow still. Hour by hour forecast, temperatures in the 30s, overnight 20s, teens along the into the mountains there. Tomorrow is a similar day to today. It's a little bit warmer though. We should get more low 40s around and there won't be really any wind, so it will feel a little bit warmer than today did. Thursday is warmer in the mid 40s. Notice though clouds start increasing during the afternoon and we should stay dry until Thursday night. Then a couple of rain showers, maybe some snowflakes over northern Maine as a front comes through. And then it's all about what that front does. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the key to our forecast. And I alluded to this earlier, this happens every spring. So we get a cold front through on Friday, and then on Saturday we're fighting with the exact position of this front. It looks to be basically right over the middle of the state, and so the temperature contrast will be really big there. An early shower clearing on Saturday afternoon. Sunday should be good through the first half of the day, then Sunday afternoon some rain comes through into Sunday night and back-ended as some snow showers Sunday evening in the mountains. So the difference in temperature here will be pretty tremendous. If anything, this is underselling the possible contrast. I could see 65 in Sanford and 33 in Caribou pretty easily on Saturday. Sunday will be more consistently warm before that front comes on through. Here's our snow depth, guys. As we talked about, a lot of snow still left out there. We're currently, though, burning through this in the right way, which is pretty slowly. So I don't see any problems with that. The weekend, again, it's weird. It looks bad when you look at it this way. I don't think it really is. I think we see a shower early Saturday. Saturday afternoon is probably pretty good. First half of Sunday should be good, and then some showers overnight Sunday and into Monday morning. Cooler on Monday, but no big storms, and the signals for early April continue to be on the mild side. So just keep on keeping on.
Yep. Okay, fingers
Slow
crossed.
burn in the spring. Thanks, Steve.
Talk about making the find of a lifetime. This man named Arthur Brandt, he's sometimes referred to as the Indiana Jones of the art world, says he recently recovered Picasso's portrait of Dora Maar after it was stolen in 1999 from a French yacht. When it was stolen, the painting was worth around $28 million. Brandt has handed the painting back to an insurance company. Unclear how much it's now valued at.
Wow. Cool.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. A lot of questions to ask there.
Definitely.
But we can't, because we have to show you this heartwarming story about a very good dog and his new best friend. Here is Kevin Tibbles with the story.
Playful pals. Golden Retrievers Charlie and Maverick are much more than sidekicks.
Here we go, down.
11-year-old Charlie is blind after losing his vision from glaucoma. And 4-month-old Maverick has become his seeing eye pup. Adam and Chelsea Sipe of Mooresville, North Carolina are all about the puppy love.
I would describe it as brothers, companions. They have fun together.
It's nice to just have that little spark added to Charlie and then, you know, dash of insanity with Maverick. And
the couple wanted a puppy for newborn Asher to grow up with, and Mavericks fit right in. Now it's two buds hanging out.
Even just like the acceptance part and being understanding, I think that they show that, and just, you know, the kindness and just like the automatic support for one another without question. And I think that, you know, we as humans can learn to do that a lot more often too.
More than best friends, Charlie and Maverick are family, keeping watch forever. Kevin Tibbles, NBC News.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, it's amazing how they just know. They just know what you need, you know?
Very cute.
They're way smarter than we are.
Heartwarming. All right, we'll stick with this. A cafe owner has seen business soar after letting customers meet one of the friendliest dog breeds around, Corgis. Who knew? 12 Corgis rushed out to greet cafe customers 3 times a day. People love them and even pay extra to be around the short-legged cuties. The cafe owner said she didn't plan on having a Corgi cafe, but it rolls off the tongue pretty nicely. And a surprise litter made her change her mind. The dogs really charm people. They shake hands and perform other tricks, all for a treat. She said she's careful not to allow the dogs to get too fat, too many treats.
Right.
Very important.
And for every one person who's not super psyched about being around them, there are 400 who are like, yay, we'll do it. And this, a wild Asian elephant separated from his group and visited a town in southwest China. Footage from China's state broadcaster shows the massive animal looking somewhat lost as it explores the downtown streets. The broadcaster said authorities closely observed its movements, and it was finally led to safety. The Asian elephant is a protected species in China. It is the largest living land animal in Asia.
If you ever have some time to kill, Google baby elephants hugging people.
Okay, that's a thing?
It's a thing.
Okay.
And it's so worth your time if you need to pick me up.
Way more satisfying than the Florida Man Challenge, probably.
Yes. Well, arguably.
Well,
I don't
okay,
know.
true. Depends on your mood, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot more coming up on News Center Maine at 5:30. Let's check in with Cindy for a preview. Hey, Cindy.
Hi, guys. A trial is getting underway today on a particularly heinous crime. A man is accused of locking a couple of people in a box truck and then setting that truck on fire and just walking away as they scream for help. We're going to take you to the trial today. Also, we've been telling you how there are more barred owls this year. There are more squirrels and rodents, therefore more prey for owls. So anyway, we have an abundance of owls. So we're going to go looking for the barred owl, and we'll show you what we find. It's all ahead at 5:30.
All right, sounds good. I'll see you down in the studio in a bit.
And we'll be right back with Brain Drops.
The other thing is there's the ad-lib tease from the end of the 5:30 to the 6, and I just don't know the phrase.
Right.
And the last 2 nights, she's like looked at me and I've gone, 6 o'clock, show starts now. You know, I just don't know what the.
I know.
So I wanted it written down once so I can visualize it,
and then it becomes
I'm
muscle
good.
memory.
Yeah.
Exactly. I can totally understand that. But yeah, apparently baby elephants look at humans as if we're puppies, and like they have the same, like they think we're cute, like we think puppies are cute.
That's interesting.
It's the cutest thing of all time.
Huh.
I love it.
Love baby stories like that. Good stuff.
I'd be lying if I said
Lee's mantle up.
Yeah, exactly. 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 You know, though, Lee would have fought me for my story yesterday at Maine Medical Center if he was here. Yeah. He would have fought me for that one.
Did we pick that up? Because I saw it in a lot of places after.
We had it, and the Nightly News had it last night, and they were able to get all 9 to come back in.
We recognized 2 of them.
From when you guys were there?
Yep.
That's cool.
They were all real cool. I think Paula was easy, too. She didn't freak out at any point, like, never got angry at me or anything.
Really?
Good. It was good.
Paul is so chill.
She is, yeah. Well, epidural helps too, you know. Takes it down a bunch of notches. She made it like halfway.
Did she?
Yeah, about that. And then she was like, we had already planned on it. She was like, all right, let's go.
Let's go.
Yep.
Isaac, are we doing snap maps first? I think we might have snap maps first. We'll see if the open runs.
Hey, Andrew. Are they doing snap maps first? Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh, are we talking about space?
Do you want to read? Oh, you got it.
Yeah. Thank you, though. Are we talking about space?
We are, I think there's actually a script in there, but
Okay.
You don't need to read it.
Okay. Ooh.
Did you have one in there?
Yeah. That's cool, if that's what it is.
Yep.
Cool.
Is it Trump taking us back to the moon?
No, yeah. Space Force. Isn't that what they were calling it? Space Force.
No. Did you see that today?
Oh, they wanted to go back to. He had mentioned this before. They wanted to go back to the moon.
No way.
I'm actually a fan of this. If people stop saying it's fake, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
Here we go.
Live stream it.
File this in the you had one job folder. Okay, you're supposed to sort these dog bones, and they're all miscolored apparently. I don't know if I would feed my dogs bones that were a little discolored. Maybe that's a take back to the store situation.
Small, like my dog doesn't chew very well.
Yeah, that might be a choking
right
hazard.
Down the hatch.
All right, what's the other job? Candy stuck together. Well, that's just a bonus if you're sharing the pack.
I have a weird thing. I'm not a candy person in general, as you know, but I love like gummy worms and gummy, like I can only eat a couple of them, but they're like one of my favorites. What is this? Is this Chris Costa at the gym? He had
These are the big wheels.
Oh, it says 0 pounds. Well, that's what I lift usually. You know what I like? I like the Olympic bouncer plates. You've seen those?
Yes.
Where they're designed to be dropped because they're huge and they're only like 25 pounds. So you can put them on the bar and it looks like
We've seen you drop weights before.
Yeah, they were all the Olympic ones. They're like, so it was like 20 pounds or something, but it looks great.
My favorite K to run is a 0K, so.
Yeah, me too. I like, let me see this real quick because I had to read a little bit of this. But I also like that we use the metric system only when we're talking about how far we ran, because it sounds like it's farther. Nobody's ever like, oh, the store's 10 kilometers away, but then we run, and we're like, 10 kilometers, not 6-something miles. Okay, I don't know if you heard about this. I just wanted to get the names right. NASA had to scrap its first planned all-female spacewalk for the weirdest reason, which is they didn't have the right size for one of the female astronauts. This sounds really bad. The headline sounds terrible. There's a reason this happened. So they train in zero gravity and they try different sizes on. So she had chosen a size, but it turned out it didn't work for her when she went out the other day.
The size of a suit?
Yes, spacesuit. Yep, correct. She didn't find it very maneuverable. Part of the reason for this is because she's grown 2 inches in height since she went up into space, it does, and I bet you can figure out why. Hopefully.
Just no, I have no idea.
Gravity.
Is it
it's
gravity
a lack
related?
of gravity. Yeah, so your spine settles inherently with the force of gravity over time. So all these astronauts gain an inch or 2 depending on their height.
Does it stay when they come back to Earth?
It does not. And so that's one of the things they'll tell you is a bummer. So in short, it wasn't really NASA being that underprepared. It's that her preference in suit size changed. And as you can imagine, you don't just buy one of these like, it's not just like a medium suit that you pick off the rack. So they're gonna try again soon, but the first all-female spacewalk canceled due to sizing issues.
Bummer.
I can relate.
Bummer, bummer, bummer. Thanks, Keith. News Center Maine at 5:30 starts right now.
Coming up.
I can relate. Bye, guys. Bye, Facebook.